Everyone, I'm just going to pin myself so I come up the top. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We've got a busy hour ahead of us, and we've got a lot to cover, and we're looking forward to sharing some of the latest updates and what we've got going on. So if I share my screen here, wonderful. So obviously we'll probably see some of you tomorrow at the NOUT conference. So we'd love to follow up those conversations that we have today, and in person where myself and some of my colleagues are down there as well. But as I've mentioned, we've got a lot to cover. We've been working really hard at Cloudy over the last few months and years, as you're aware, and we're really excited to show you where we are now. So obviously, I'm David Hall, Managing Director of Cloudy, and we've built a real good team at Cloudy, as you know, over the years. We've worked on many events with many of you previously. So we've got Susan, Austin, and Rebecca, who head up our digital skills team, and there are other colleagues who work around that. But as you know, Cloudy's got a big emphasis on digital skills, and we've been working for many years on that, and we're excited to share with you some of the new changes coming through as well. And then we have our what we call our sector champions, who are individuals who are from the sector, but they deliver frontline services that are specific in terms of committee management, AI, events, CRM. So some of those names and faces I'm sure are very familiar as well. So that's who are on the presentation today. Sadly, not sadly, but Tina's on holiday in Scotland at the moment, so I think she's got the weather for it and has enjoyed it. We weren't asking her to beam and join us today, but there we go. So and we're really grateful for Ewan and for Will to come and join us to talk respectively about some of the products they've been using at Cloudy. A lot of these things are moving very quickly. Obviously, CRM's well established, but certainly AI is quite new to a lot of people, and we have got a package around AI for calcs, and as a lot of you probably know, for councils as well. And Will's kindly come along just to talk about his experience briefly about it as well. So that's great. So thank you very much to both of you. So today's agenda. Quick welcomes and introductions. We're just going to cover some of the things we're doing in the sector. I'm sure a lot of you are already aware, but for those who aren't, it might surprise you. Equally, we're going to talk about the three main things that we're offering calcs, which is around organisational support, so stuff to do with their operations to improve how they work. And then we've got areas around revenue generation, so ways we can work together to provide good services to your customers or your members, as well as earning yourself some much needed funds, I'm sure, as well. And then also working how we can work together through events and sponsorship. Cloudy are a very privileged place in the sector, working with some big partners like Microsoft and others who help us to deliver the services. And I think it's a win for everyone, because it means more money's flowing into the sector, which means the general professionalism has been increased. So, and then we'll talk about some of the next steps that we'd love to discuss with you as well. And just to let you know, actually, I didn't add, but everything from this agenda, all the slides will be shared. In fact, the slide can be shared right now. So I don't know if one of my glamorous colleagues would kindly just put a link to the presentation so you can follow along at home. But equally, after this, we will share all of this with you. So please don't worry about taking notes and stuff, because it'll all be there as well. So Cloudy, we've been working in the sector for 16 years now, so really exciting. And we're very privileged to work with some great councils, some great county associations, and some great partners as well. So we work closely with NOUC. We have been sponsors of the Star Council Award for over 3 years. We've just committed for another couple more as well, which is really exciting. And we are very glad to be working with NOUC and all the partners that work within the ecosystem. We also work with SAAA, providing their IT systems as well. And we are in the middle of just towards the end of a CRM deployment with them as well, which is really exciting. And we are working proactively with them to modernise their organisation and help them achieve more with less, and all the things that we're all trying to do as we grapple with the modern pressures that we face. And we've been working with SLCC for a number of years, right from the start, and we're really privileged to have been the headline sponsors for a number of their conferences, and certainly practitioners for a number of years, and we work closely with them. And we also just committed to an agreement with One Voice Wales as well for a number of years to continue the great work that we're doing for Welsh Council. So as you can see, we are really working closely with all our partners in the sector. And, when we assemble our digital skills team and our sector champions, it means that the people come into those events and working with these partners can really understand the requirements they have and ensure that the technology is delivered as best as possible. And we know it's a very, very fast changing world that we live in. So we sent a survey out beforehand. So thank you so much for the people who filled that out. And there was lots of questions in there, but some of the results were I think actually came across, and they proved what we all thought, which was, calcs are looking at ways to generate income, to provide more services, better services, and calcs are under a huge amount of pressure to do that, and you are really at the front line. And obviously you have many different setups and makeups in terms of the size and how many councils you look after, but you are, as we could see here, 96% said they were looking for opportunities for generating revenue. 100% agreed that there was huge amounts of capacity issue and pressures facing clerks. And then also 88%, the importance of adding services for their members. So services that Cloudy are currently providing around digital skills, and I'm sure lots of other companies like Breakthrough, etc. as well. And then talked about how stretched councils are for time and resource. So these are things we're all feeling. The numbers speak for themselves, and we're really excited to build upon what we've already got, but also introduce some other really exciting products that we've been working on behind the scenes for a while. So you've spoken and we have listened, and we always knew these were the pressures, but what we've got today is to present to you some of those different options that are available. So, as you know, you are the first point of call for a lot of pound and parish councils. You are providing guidance and best practice, and just like Cloudy is as well, to our clients' councils. And being at the forefront of that is quite difficult, but we have developed a number of opportunities to work together to achieve all our shared goals. So we want to add value to your membership offer. We are keen to professionalize the sector. When I joined the sector, when I started working in the sector 16 years ago, even till recently, we'd go to calc conferences, which are little dusty village halls and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. It's quite quaint. But, we are seeing now that, bigger facilities, more professional facilities are being hired, and more partners are coming into the ecosystem, and it fuels itself. And councils are obviously growing. They're taking on more responsibilities, and look at LGRC and all the other things that are going on. So our services are built for stretched teams. So we're trying to make you more productive using, whether it's our CRM or whether it's upskilling your staff, or whether it's just using the tools that are available through Microsoft 365, or even our AI tools to be more productive. And then, of course, trying to generate some much needed revenue as well. So organizational support for your association. So we have a couple of products within this that we offer, and some of you are aware of them and some of you aren't, but we're going to run through those now. Obviously, this is the backbone of your county association, and having good core IT and good systems built on that, and then other ways to work around them are super important. We have got products to deliver on all of those things. So we have our Microsoft 365 services. So we provide this to many councils all over the country, but we also provide it to a number of calcs as well. And the core of that is setting up your tenants, providing the licenses, migrating your data to that, and ensuring you're set up correctly as well. So we provide that to a lot of county associations. Now we're aware, obviously, there's some unusual setups with associations in terms of using your principal authority's IT environment, or having your own exact as well. But we can help you in either way with that as well. And then also we're really excited about the work we're doing around GovCRM, GovAssist and Copilot. So, useful tools that sit on top of 365 that allow you to manage your membership, allow you to, research stuff more effectively, to generate information more efficiently, and to distribute that as well to your members and provide that service at scale, which is what you're looking at. So we've got products around all of those things, and we've got obviously our dedicated team who are leading that. And we'll first really talk about our GovCRM solution. And I originally sort of approached a number of you years ago about a CRM, actually, and that was back in the day when we were looking at Microsoft Dynamics, which is quite expensive. But since then, we have built a version of CRM on Microsoft, which uses a much more efficient licensing system, and we've seen some really good results, and we've been doing that for a while now, and we're starting to see some real growth on that. We don't just sell this to calcs; we sell it to councils as well as businesses and charities. But it's an area that we're working really hard on. And I'm really proud to introduce my colleague, Matthew Turnbull, who heads that up and is going to talk just briefly about the benefits of the CRM, because it's not just a CRM, it's a marketing tool as well, a bit like MailChimp, and then also introduce Ewan, who's been using it for a while. He can kindly talk a bit about it as well. So Matthew, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, David. So I'll probably cover the question that many of you may have, which is, what is a CRM? So CRM, in short, is it stands for a customer relationship management software. Basically what that means in English is it's kind of bringing all your correspondence together with all your members as well as other organizations, all of that into one place. So it can be really nicely tracked as such. So it's bringing all this correspondence in, and it's giving you a nice history of all of that as well, which is really rather beneficial. So for example, with the CRM, if David's off, I can see all the emails that he's been sending to different organizations, different councils, etc., which is really, really nice, and just helps with that collaboration as such. The other big benefit we've seen, we even use it internally for ourselves, is just getting that nice levels of details and data, which you can really dig into to look at the kind of common issues that are coming up, as well as how they're being handled as such. Are you handling all the same queries the same, or is there differences there? But yeah, I won't be too long. There is the other thing as well, which is our lovely marketing campaigns, which you send out using the same database as such, which you can do really targeted to different groups. For example, you could send that to a particular postcode, or just your particular councillors that you've got the details for, all of that kind of stuff. You can really break it down, which is rather nice. But I won't try to bore you to death, so I'm going to hand over to Ewan, and hopefully he'll be able to take it away and tell you about he's been using it.
Yeah, so thank you. I'll give a very quick intro because I know we've got a lot to get through. When I started in the current role at Somerset Association, we had a variety of different systems, and which, as you might expect, many of you experienced, they're held together a bit by string and sticky tape. So I was keen that we had one way of responding to inquiries from our members, rather than a set of laptops, each with their own address books, and people not knowing if one of the team had responded or another. So that's what the CRM does. When considering where to go for a new system, we were already using Microsoft 365, and yet not through CloudyIT. We have a local IT provider who's helped us to set us up and migrate on that. But when considering which system to move to, we want to ensure that there's something that is resilient, that's going to be there in the future, which means not that the company behind it is not going to disappear. And obviously being on a Microsoft 365 platform really helps with that, because we're not expecting Microsoft to end anytime soon. And also CloudyIT, established firm in the sector, not expecting them to disappear in the next few years for supporting us. So that was part of the consideration. The quote was reasonable, so I'd encourage everyone to have a chat with Cloudy and see if it meets your requirements. The onboarding experience was suitably painless. We did a group teams and then one-on-one follow-ups with each members of the team. Really, at the moment, we're using it predominantly for our core inquiries. So everything that comes to the info@Somerset ALC address, which Sam and I can dive into and pick up ones that are relevant to us, assign them to each other, but also to our training officer. And we've been launching a separate one for our health and wellbeing program, which is community health and wellbeing info. I'd say that's less well used at the moment, but probably if we had that at the time that we launched the project, it would be far more well used, where people are continuing to contact the officers directly. We found, yes, it's still a system in development. There are still things that could be improved, as everyone would expect at this stage. With Cloudy are pretty responsive in dealing with such things. We tend to just email and then set up a Teams and sort of work through any problems, which hopefully is useful feedback for them for ongoing development of the system, as much as it is to improve it at our end. But yeah, very positive experience so far. Encourage people to get involved, and I'll also be at the NOUT conference tomorrow if anyone wants to have a chat there.
Brilliant, Ewan. Thank you so much for coming online and talking about your experience of the CRM. I think it does show you've got to lay the groundwork, so you can deliver the services. And if you do put that in place, then you can start to think about all the other things you can provide to your members in the area. And we do have a partner rate on the CRM and marketing module. It is slightly discounted for calcs versus councils and businesses. So we are very sort of sympathetic to that. But Ewan, thanks for coming on board and talking. We've got a couple of things to whiz through, and I'll see you tomorrow as well. Like a number of us. So yeah, take care. Thanks for that, Ewan. Cheers. Right, so brilliant. So that's a core CRM, and we do have some benefits around the CRM as well. So when you purchase the CRM marketing module from Cloudy, we will also provide you free access to our GovAssist platform as well. Okay, and GovAssist is actually free to use anyway, but we'll provide you a free pro license, which gives you unlimited usage. And GovAssist is something that we're very proud of and something we've been working on for a number of years. And there's a couple of reasons why we built GovAssist. And I'm joined by my colleague Steve Walker, who's I'm sure many of you know, who've seen at various events and speaking online, who is one of the sort of architects and instigators of GovAssist at Cloudy, who's going to talk very briefly about why GovAssist is suitable for councils and the benefits, and then kindly Will's come to talk about as a council from Dorset, who are also from the Dorset Calc, to talk about how Dorset Calc are using GovAssist as they've come on board with our CRM. So Steve, yeah, if you want to talk about GovAssist and why we built it, really.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. There's a couple of bits to apologies for the noise in the background. So GovAssist was made to fulfill a certain need that we had discovered in the sector, where a lot of generic AI platforms didn't allow councils to have control over data residency, and they didn't allow clerks confidence to be able to sit in a that they felt safe and secure with. So we've had a lot of people that have joined the platform use it in their daily taskings, where they're looking at how AI can assist them. And that's probably its biggest, I think the biggest bit is its sector focus. It's ring fenced, so it only looks up information for the sector that it's meant to look up for from trusted sources. You have control over the information you enter into it. So if you enter your policies or any documentation like that, your minutes, your agendas, you have absolute control over that as well. Which again, one of the challenges of public systems, you haven't got that level of control. And that's what GovAssist brings. It focuses both the security of your information, the safety of the platform as well. There's a lot of guardrails that we put in. And I think that's, we would recommend, if you're not sure, you're curious about using something at your council or your county association, give GovAssist a go. Like I say, as David mentioned, it's free to sign up, free to get started with, and if you bring it on via using our CRM package, you get a pro license as well. So I think it's probably a good time to hand over to Will, David, don't you think?
Yeah, and thanks, Steve. And just to talk about GovAssist, and we know AI in the sector is a very contested product, really, because people are very concerned and worried, and rightly so, and so are we. But we're really keen that we work with partners to around AI and do it in a way that is responsible, that is ensuring that addressing the needs, the requirements of the time at the time, which is around, we're all pressed for time. We need better access to better tools. And what we've built with GovAssist is a way to ensure that the signposting is always there and the data is always accurate. So it will always reference, go and speak to your county association, or SLCC, and you just don't get that with other AI that from other companies. We are thinking about the partners in the sector genuinely, which you're not going to get. So we've kind of got Will, who they're just looking at Dorset. They're not looking. They're moving to the CRM. We've just managed to get through the hurdles of work of your with the principal authority. And Will, you've been dabbling with the GovAssist product, and you kind of said you'd say a couple of words about your experience so far. So thank you, Will.
Happy to do that, David. Just to say that, yeah, our use of GovAssist came about as a consequence of us deciding to implement the CRM, which in turn came about because of Ewan's presentation to us on Somerset's use of it. And Cloudy's help too. So, and as David said earlier, GovAssist is now rolled in with the CRM as a pro license. So, whilst we were putting together our plan to implement the CRM, I thought, well, let's have a little play with the AI. And I've been using it for a couple of months now, since April. I have to say, so far, I found it to be absolutely spot on, and probably what I'd perhaps just put a proviso in there to say, as far as I know, because despite being a clerk of 14 years, and I you know, on most things, I think I'm fairly confident of my ground on governance matters, for instance. You can never be absolutely sure, can you? So yeah, there is that sort of condition. But what I have done in using it so far is I've shown it to understand better than both generic AI models, which routinely get confused between legislation for town and parish councils and legislation for principal authorities. And in fact, I mean, I don't know how many colleagues around the room took part in the testing of NORA model. I mean, that too just got a little bit confused here and there. Hopefully they'll improve that. But so far, this one, I've generated a level of confidence that I haven't found in using other forms of AI. I particularly like that it only uses reputable sources, as David pointed out. And that it directly looks at and interprets legislation. I'm not sure how many others are tailored to town and parish councils and use source legislation and recognises the difference between legislation for town and parish councils and other kinds of council. So really like that. Also, when it gives you an answer, it gives you links to the source data. So if you really want to go and check, you can go and check. It will also show you its thinking. It'll do that as you go along. I don't often do this because yes, there's quite a lot of reading to do, but you can watch the AI model think as it goes through and start to question itself and think, well, should I look there? Should I look here? So yeah, that kind of engenders a sense of confidence. David and Steve will tell us just how real that is, but it certainly feels very real. The depth of the response that you get is adjustable. Generally, I just want a quick answer to a quick question, so I'll look for the short reply, but you can get some much greater depth if that's what you're after. And for every answer, the answer will be given a level of confidence. So what assumptions have been made, what is known and not known, and as a result of that, does the answer have high, medium or low confidence attached to it? I'd say I haven't come across one with a low confidence response yet. So the kinds of things I've been using it for, all sorts of quite obscure questions around legal authority for councils and the basis of that legal authority. The finer points of annual parish meetings, I had one of those last week. Some weird questions about members' allowances, a very unusual situation with the election of a chair, lots of queries about declarations of interest, some staffing issues, so it's able to deal with those. Public Works Loan Board last week, and the rules around capital expenditure. So quite a wide range of stuff I've tested it with so far, and I am really pleased with what we've seen so far. So alongside that, ask it a question, it'll give you a response. It's an AI model, it'll create stuff for you as well. So we've been looking at whether we could produce a version of NAUC's model standing orders with some explanatory notes alongside. So look at each clause in the model standing orders and explain what that might mean, and give some options that councils might want to consider for each of those items. You may have done that already, folks, but it'll be new to us. So, GovAssist had a really good go at producing something that I could work from for that. It's produced a template community emergency response plan and an internal audit specification, just as kind of things I've given it to do in passing as I was testing it. So far, so very good. And I'm really impressed with what it does. I haven't added our own documents to the model. We haven't looked at that just yet, so that's something we want to develop further. So that just adds to the store of information. And in a way, some of the more exciting stuff is still to come. And I think that Cloudy are looking at how this model might integrate with things like the CRM more directly. So I think that'll be a further source of some excitement to us as we develop our use of AI. I would just close by saying that it always the answers always depend on asking the right question. So and so does your use of credits. So if you're using the free version, try and ask the right question first up. Get everything in there. Otherwise, you may just come back and say, well, what about this bit? What about that bit? So yeah, that's a learning point for me. I hope that's of some help.
Absolutely. Will, thank you so much for coming on and speaking about your experience over the last couple of months of GovAssist. And we've been working on GovAssist for quite a few years actually, and we only launched it in November last year, and we're still making lots of tweaks and improvements to the platform. It is actually still really early days, like Will said, but we're really keen that clerks, councils, members, officers, can use the platform, and you get a daily allowance of credits that resets every day, and if you're using a lot, you can buy more usage which you can share with your colleagues, or you can just buy licenses that you can give them by themselves. Currently on the platform we have I think 550 councils at last count, and about 1,100 users. So that's really good since we launched it in November. And we are, I think, at the very start of the journey on AI, really. What we're looking to do is improve workflows. That's what we're trying to do. We've got some exciting stuff around the corner that Steve's working on in his mad scientific lab at the moment. So we'd love to share those as well. So that's GovAssist. We'll put a link in the chat. All the QR codes are there, but please do have a look. And calcs do actually have a slightly different account than councils, which we can convert to, which gives you a few more opportunities, and we are absolutely working on, Will, and you on an integration with our CRM to make it even better as well. Wonderful. So we're moving on to the next part of the session, which is around revenue generating opportunities. And Cloudy, we are a core IT company. We provide the IT services, many councils, and we provide cyber essentials and co-pilot training, digital skills, etc. But we have got some really exciting products that we've been working on for many years, and we are through what we're seeing through AI and other things are really accelerating, and we would love to sort of work with yourselves on those products to really provide them to the members, because we believe they are so useful, and they're really priced at a very fair, affordable rate. So GovMeetings. There's a few core things that councils have to work on and deliver. Finance is one, and meetings is another. And we've had a product called Decisions for a number of years. I think we had about 45 councils on our Decisions product. It was built on Microsoft 365, which is great. It's a lot more affordable than ModGov, which was in tens of thousands of pounds, where Decisions started at 850 quid. But it was never quite right. It was never quite built for the sector, and we were taking a product built for businesses and just tailoring it for councils. But we did start at the end of last year working on our own product called GovMeetings, and we're really happy where GovMeetings is now, and it's a fully modern AI SaaS platform which is designed and tailored exactly for parish and towns. And Steve's been the architect of that, and we're still doing behind the scenes trials, but we've got I think about 13 councils signed up in all different shapes and sizes, which is quite nice, and their experience has been very positive. Steve, do you want to just talk a bit about why we did this with GovMeetings?
Yeah, thank you, David. And there was you know, for those that love a bit of tech acronyms, I think David managed to get several in that last paragraph. So if you're counting acronyms out, I think that's probably nearly a house you've got there. So yeah, GovMeetings, as David mentioned, we wanted something a bit more focused on the sector, very much along the lines of GovAssist. GovAssist is an AI, but it's really focused on the sector. Our meetings platform, that doesn't really do it enough justice. It is a true committee management system, along with attendance, voting records, a fully accessible public portal, generates members packs, the public pack, handles part 1 and part 2 confidently. There are loads of built-in sort of hints and tips as well. Even the basics around how it handles ex officio office members and the like, officers' attendance. All of this, it is laser focused on our sector. It's dead easy to use. David mentioned we've got 13 councils testing it at the moment. And by testing, I mean in use. So they're actually using it to manage their committees and their meetings and their agendas and so forth. And we get fantastic feedback from them, and where they've given us a good idea on something, that goes straight into it. The team sit down and has a look and think, right, we'll roll that up into something for this week sort of goodies. And that's doing well, because again, everybody, you know, uses these platforms slightly differently to each other. And some of the ideas that someone has, someone thinks that's a brilliant idea, I wish I'd thought about that. So that we're rolling them in. But it generates compliant and accessible public and member packs. It supports hybrid operations out of the box. So if you wanted to do working groups or task to finish groups, and it understands the differences between them and a normal meeting, it will do those happily with external participants. If you happen to be over the border in Wales, it will work there quite happily for you. And as and when legislation for us does change, it's easy to get up and running in its hybrid model. And again, I would encourage people, when we host some webinars in the future on this, to come join us and see it in action, because the feedback we've received from all of the councils with it is extremely positive. And the other plus, and this is something mentioned just now about GovAssist, it doesn't really take much to learn how to use it. It's quite an intuitive platform. So the people we've let loose on it, we've said to them, just try it out, use their help, try it out. And they're getting on, and that's a sign that the terminology and the language and how it works for us. So a great opportunity for county associations to jump on and promote this. And as David has got on the screen there, you know, that there are some commercial opportunities here as well, David.
Brilliant, Steve. Thanks ever so much. And you know, I love the development that Steve's put into this, and you know, hearing all the updates, and you know, really improvements to automation and workflows, and really just giving more time back for those busy clerks and DSOs. And one of the great things I love is the ability to, it's got a public portal where all the documentation goes, absolutely beautiful. But also you can do a one-click creation of an audio or a webcast of the meeting and a summary, which is great for accessibility. It's 100% accurate. You get to verify the text before you publish it, and you know, just great examples of more community engagement. So GovMeetings can start as little as $675 for a parish council. So, and that's for the whole council to use the cloud platform. So that's very affordable considering what it does end to end. We also have an offer at the moment where actually if you're on the first wave of the first 50 councils, you get a 50% discount. So very good. And then equally working with yourselves, and we've restructured a lot of our pricing to make it clearer, make it more aligned, or our certainly agreement with yourselves. There is a 30% rebate back for yourselves as well. So we can attract through affiliate links. If a council signs up through a link you send out, you will receive 30% back off of their sign up of their first year. Okay, so so that's GovMeetings. Very exciting. We are looking forward to great things with GovMeetings and continue to provide it to lots of councils across the UK. We've got a number of products, and actually just to add, actually GovMeetings sits as part of a product we call Smart Chamber. Now, obviously, the legislation around remote meetings and council participation is still out on the table, but we are preparing for that, and as well as lots of councils. And Smart Chamber is a tool or a service that brings together lots of different components. So we talk about, broadcasting your meeting, running the meeting using committee management software, the devices that the councillors have, so we provide really good devices, iPads for cases, and then also the AI and training that bolts it all together. So it's a complete package. We know a lot of councils really struggle to do that and to get a really effective deployment and go full digital. But if you use the components of Smart Meetings, which includes GovMeetings and all our AI AV equipment as well, you can get some really good results. And my colleague just recently ran an event, a webinar on Smart Meetings just earlier, and got some really good interest on that as well. So thank you for putting the link in the chat there as well. So thank you, Steve, for joining us for that. We really appreciate it. So that's one of the new products coming up. They're very exciting. We also have a product called GovRedact. So you'll get a theme here. There's a lot of govs. Okay, so we've got GovMeetings, GovAssist. GovRedact is a tool we've been working on. We process quite a few subject access requests and freedom of information requests for not just our customers, but any council. They can come to Cloudy, and we won't provide them the advice on it. That's done for the likes of Breakthrough, but we can technically go and retrieve all the data through using fancy tools that Microsoft provide to give to the council to then do the redaction process. And what we found is that they get absolutely terrified about having to redact, and some print it off and some use tippies, and I was on a phone with Darren from Breakthrough and some use Tippex, so we've built a redaction tool called GovRedact. You can go to the website now, govredact.co.uk. You can't log in, unfortunately, but it is an AI powered platform, okay, which means it can make suggestions. Now, the important thing is always human in the loop. It's always human responsible, and we reiterate that many times on the platform. But as you can see here, it will scan the document, look for all the personal data, and make recommendations on it. There's a lot more clearly to it. So we are really excited about this product because we know it's a pain point for a lot of councils. It is designed for parish and town councils, and this one's in development. It's a bit further behind than GovMeetings, but it is absolutely working. But we are treading very carefully because it's AI. We are looking at the first version of it to actually not include AI, which sounds a bit silly, but the first version will actually allow an officer to go through and manually redact stuff, and what it does is there's an audit, there's a trail. It's a lot better than any other tool at the moment because you have no system. This is a system, and it's also free to use as well, which is quite exciting up to a point. So we're looking at the first version going live fairly soon without the AI included, which will be a great useful tool for members to use, councils to use. And then once we've fully tested the system, which we are doing for partners like Breakthrough, we will slowly roll out those really advanced AI features. But and once again, just like with GovMeetings, we will run this on an affiliate link system. And if you should want to partner with us, there'll be a little link on your website on some emails. And if someone clicks that and they spend some money, you'll get 30% back of that, which is really cool. So my colleague Martin Boyle heads up that. We haven't got any links to Martin's things, but if you do want to talk about redaction and FOIs and SARs and technical aspects of it, do reach out to us. We'd love to have a chat with you about that as well. So moving on. So digital skills. This is the cornerstone of Cloudy. I often believe that digital skills are so important, and before AI, the only way to really improve the productivity of your organisation was to invest in your technology and your team. And obviously, the team is super important. So we've got an extensive digital skills team, and I'm really excited to introduce Susan Austin, who joined Cloudy at the beginning of last year and really professionalized what we've delivered. And Susan joined us from Milton Keynes Council. She's dedicated around digital skills, and we've been really working hard on this, and it's not an easy thing to get right. Things move quickly, and we are trying our hardest, but and we review it every 6 years. So every 6 months we review it. So we review it, we roll out the next six months worth of sessions, and we are just rolling out our next 6 months. So from July to December, we have got some really exciting webinars or training sessions which Susan will talk about. which will basically we can work together to provide those digital skills to your customers, to your members, and we've got a much more simpler way to do that as well, so it's a lot more easy to track. But Susan, I suppose it'll be great to hear from you about some of the sessions we've got coming up and the benefits and what you're looking forward to deliver, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Actually, I'm quite excited because I've just finished email efficiency session with what I focus on all the time about saving time, and that key clerks capacity. If you think about it, in my role as a trainer IT trainer within Milton Keynes Council, I work very closely with clerks, and being a previous PA person, I know the pain points. So my role is to save time. So it was very exciting today to show them how they could save at least 30 minutes a day, and they all agreed that by using all the new features that comes with Outlook, they could do that. And I tell you what was really, really rewarding for me as a trainer was, I want to go back and try this, and that is what I'm passionate about, to see people engage and actually learn the new skills that will help them. I came on board with Cloudy. I was so delighted to be able to just focus on Microsoft because that's been my passionate for. I created 22 new courses, and we've actually seen how they've run, and I love the feedback. It is so important to Cloudy to get that feedback, and how are we doing? And the focus was, and I actually learned this for myself, is that we've got key topics. Yes, this is what you're going to cover, but what it is, but yeah, how does that apply to me? It's all going back to the what, isn't it? And why are we doing it? And then I can deliver, this is how. And all it's all about becoming your time-saving hero. I tell you what, it was really good to be able to deliver a file freedom course. And that's what I try and do, not just say SharePoint, because most people don't understand what SharePoint is. But if I talk about their files and how the search engine, everything is the engine SharePoint, and then we talk about moving away from creating a clutter to clarity. And then the next day I did a planner course with some same students on it. So I was able to say, well, let's actually build a project around your building a culture of file freedom and a visibility within that project to actually, and it blended in from the next course into the next. And even today they said, what I think we should be doing is there could be another version of this course because there's so much. There was 31 benefits. So that's my passion, is to create them. We learned lessons learned last year with too much content in too much courses, and it becomes rushed. So you now have 5 Copilot AI courses focusing on, and so we can run them at a more networking and discussing what works for each council. People were attending Word Essentials and Excel Essentials. I got rid of the intermediate and advanced, just focused on around the subject. So Word for better documents, less formatting stress, more polished documents. And then you've got Excel. Everybody should attend the essentials because it doesn't matter what level you're at. Everybody says over the 25 years that I've been doing Excel, they go, I didn't know it could do that. So we're focusing on formulas, reports, using the smarter tools. Hardly anybody attends the PowerPoint one, but I've faced it now. So PowerPoint for busy councils and present with confidence. And each one of my training sessions will have scenarios of why you need to attend this session and what benefits you're going to have. Need I say any more?
I know, Susan. I know you're incredibly passionate about training, and so am I. I'm so glad we got to work together on this, and it's a hard thing to spin up because we're trying to focus on hundreds of councils across the country, and they've all got different requirements and different abilities and different skills. But we are really getting there now. And we've got some exciting courses going live right now that include Copilot from the start. So we've got 5 specific ones, but then we've got all of our sessions have Copilot built in as well. So really useful. So we've got an agreement with calcs currently that they can resell the train. So Susan, thank you so much first for actually joining us to talk about it. And if anyone does have any questions for Susan or Rebecca, who supports Susan in that, then please do reach out. So I'm going to talk a bit more about the mechanics of how this all works. So so up until now, and the sort of couple of years we've been doing this, for every session that was joined by someone that the calcs recommended, you get a £10 rebate, and the sessions cost between £45, £65. But we've now simplified it. All sessions are £65, all sessions are 90 minutes, and you'll get 30% of that person who joins that session. So quite simple. And also, if you are a partner of ours or a customer of ours, so you buy your 365 from us, then we will give you free training for your colleagues as well. So that's a bit about it, and we are going for a major revamp of the whole system now, which is really good. So that's hopefully going to go live on the 1st of October, fingers crossed, and each calc will get their own portal, and it'll be tailored to them. So it'll have their logo, their wording, and then your members will be able to browse all the sessions, and then see the sessions in the series and find out more information. And obviously, the whole point, book on the session. So that's really exciting. We've got the template built, we've got the prototype working, we're just deploying it and testing it right now, and we're hoping that's going to be online. But it's going to make it a lot easier for yourself, for your members as well, and a lot easier for us, and we can just focus on improving it year after year. So that is the other revenue sharing opportunity. At Cloudy, we've got a lot of ideas coming through at the moment. You can see the team has grown, and they're all passionate and involved in the sector. So thank you, Mary, for the question. They're 90 minutes long. So all sessions are 90 minutes. So digital skills is a big part. So you've got free revenue sharing opportunities right now, but we've got a few more coming up as well. But we want to just run before we can walk, and we'll just focus on these for now, because these are things that are working as we speak. So we've also got a number of assessment tools you can run as well, which are really exciting. So all these are clickable. I'm not going to click it now, but you can click on any one of these, and it will take you actually. I'll just do it now. There we go. It will take you to an assessment page where you can run an assessment and start running through a digital skills assessment. So we do encourage you to share those, because they can ask some questions for your members about how they use security and assertion 10, and how they're using AI and how they're using their digital skills, and give them reports and they can go back to council, review them themselves as well. So that's a really good area to focus on. And finally, we've got events and sponsorship. So this is a really big part of Cloudy's approach. We're an engaging company. We like to get out in front of people, and we've got a lot of things that we do around that. And we've done many events with lots of you around the table here today, certainly on the call. So my colleague Tina Cunnell heads this up. As I mentioned, she's enjoying herself in sunny Scotland at the moment, so that's good for her. But we've got a couple of ways we can work with you. Okay, so we can work with you on what we call AI days, and we've done a couple of those now. We've done one with Ewan, we've done with Danny from Northampton. Where else have we done? We've done dotting them around. We're looking. The AI days can be for members, they can be for officers. We're looking at running one for both actually in parallel around different tracks, and we bring our partners in as well. But they're really engaging, really hands-on, and delivered by people who are from the sector, councillors, clerks, officers, auditors. So we'd love to run an AI day with a calc and work together to really demystify AI and assist members whose requirements are different to clerks and officers. We're very simple for that. We also can come and exhibit, so we do a lot of that, obviously. So whether that's all the events, a round table, etc. So we love that sort of stuff. So absolutely, please do get in touch with Tina and book us in. Sponsorship as well. We're happy to sponsor. We sponsor a lot at the moment, so you have to be very careful we sponsor. But we do enjoy it, and we want to assist. So please get in touch if that's an opportunity. And then obviously we can work together on some events as well. We are incredibly always thinking about the future and how we can change things and not just keep doing the same stuff over and over again. So absolutely. So lots of opportunities to collaborate there around specific AI days, and we do days where Susan comes along and talks about digital skills and does the top 25 tips, and that's had some really good feedback. So we've got a couple of things we can work on together as well. So I think we're just wrapping up now, which is good. So we're kind of 10 minutes ahead of schedule, so we can answer some questions if you've got them, or just finish on time, which will be nice. We've obviously covered a lot here. We've talked about obviously some of the ways we can support your calc with IT, with CRM, with AI. We've also talked about revenue sharing opportunities that we can provide as well with GovMeetings, GovAssist, etc. And also talk about how we can work together on events. My colleague Rebecca's been brought into CloudyIT to manage this specifically. Okay, so digital skills and calc engagement, Rebecca is available, and so Rebecca's already reached out to a couple of you before, and she's the person behind the scenes who's just jumping on things quicker, making sure they've been responded to fast and no one's forgotten, because there's a lot of moving parts. But we have got a survey that we'll send out afterwards, but also if someone could put it in the chat, or you can click I think it's that clickable, it's not, but you can go to that, and that will basically allow us to sort of really work out what different calcs want, and we can have personal conversations with all of them as well. So please do that. And Rebecca, any couple of words from yourself at all around what you're trying to achieve and what you're looking forward to doing?
Certainly, basically says it on the tin. We're looking for one partnership and a stronger member of us. Really lovely and I really look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. So yeah, please do reach out. Obviously you've got Rebecca, but the wider team, Tina, from an events perspective, obviously Steve and Lewis, or myself as well, but they were the point of contact. So here we go. So we've got a sort of summary of all the different links here that we've got available, and you can just click on these and it will take you to all the different things that we're selling here or providing. So here we go. So the GovMeetings product, GovAssist, we've got GovFinance there, and all the different tools. So please do click on those links should you wish. That would be wonderful. And then just to wrap up, if anyone's got any questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Right, let's go. So how does CRM ID sign-ups and link to members given or council can't use work email address? So good question, Sarah. Matthew, I think on the spot. Go on, Matthew. Can you answer this one?
Yeah, by all means. So I'm trying to think the best way to explain this. So at first, I'll try and show an example. That may be easier. It may be easier if you have a separate call with me, to be honest, because that is a very niche aspect of the CRM. But basically what it will do is it will look at the email, and in 365 and other email providers, there's often a name linked to it as such. But if not, generally what it'll do is it'll just create a vague contact such, and then you can update that yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so the CRM is primarily used, I mean, obviously every calc's a bit different, we know that. So but we're trying to manage all the contacts you've got and how you categorize them. Absolutely. And as Ewan said, there's a lot to consider. So we can work with you to tidy that up as well. So so the CRM will store obviously council issued email addresses, but if you want to store your councillors as well, absolutely. We would encourage the council issued email address, but we know it's never that straightforward, is it? So absolutely not. Brilliant. Any other questions? I mean, we've got 5 minutes.
2 hands up. We've got
okay.
Mary and Robin. Maybe Robin and Mary first.
Yeah, Mary
Mary's
first. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mary. How can we help?
Oh, hi. So our training, which is delivered by our county association, is £37 plus VAT, so 65 is quite expensive. So I'm wondering how we can show value for money to any potential councils for that.
Of course. So good feedback. We've changed it because we were running short sessions, 60 minutes for 45, but we've gone to 90 minutes for 65 because the longer sessions, they include Copilot as well, and you also get a number of handouts after the session, which we are working really hard to improve on. So we've got Susan's top tips. We've got Copilot for meetings, that's delivered by a lady called Rebecca who works for ADSO and also delivers our Copilot training. So I appreciate it is more money, absolutely, but I hope the quality of it will show through and the value of it as well. But we are always listening, absolutely. And if we run this for 6 months and we think, we need to tweak this, we absolutely will. Okay. So yeah, it's nothing's ever set in stone. We have to manage things properly, but we try ideas. And for this isn't really a money making exercise for us. We have lots of other things that we do, but we do this because we are genuinely passionate So please keep us about the feedback. We'd love to have another call with you to work out how we can plan that, and then obviously if we do make the changes in the future, we can include that.
Yeah, I think we set out, it's more about the price point as well. I know the quality's there, but our other training providers are similar. So it might be like, why are we paying this much for that bit of training? And if that's more specialist than needed and it shows it, then fair enough. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. But we're always taking feedback, so thanks for that. And Robin, yes.
Hi, yeah, thanks. Just a very quick one. Sorry if this was covered, but I just looked at the slide and there's no link to find out more there. So the bespoke portals for the training for each county association, are they? It says you build them. Are they sort of available now, ready now, or is that to come?
We've got a demonstration of one. I don't know if I can get hold of it quick enough. We will send out the demonstration link so you can see it, Robin.
But I just know if there's nothing for us to do to initiate that for us, for example.
Not at all. No. So it's all managed our end. All you do have to do is on your website put a link to it, and then a council will go there and it will have your name, your branding, and they can browse sessions that obviously are what we provide to all councils. But when they click the book session, that goes into signs up against yours.
Brilliant. And you'll be in touch sort of when those are ready, will you?
Yeah, we're looking the 1st of October. If you don't sooner, we will be in touch. Absolutely. But yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks, Robin. Cheers. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. I don't know if there's any more questions in the chat. Otherwise, we are obviously at the Now conference tomorrow. So if you are there, please do come over and say hello, give us some feedback, and we always welcome them. But otherwise, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And try and stay cool. And it's incredibly hot at the moment. And we'll see you all tomorrow. So take care. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye. Cheers.